Alyssa, I found your project in the drive. First impressions, nice work. When after the video at the top of class, I'll just have you. Um, I'll have you present your PowerPoint, and if presenting it doesn't work, then or if that doesn't is not a good smooth model to give the critique, uh, then I will just present it for you and you'll talk over it and just tell me when to change slides. Is that okay? All right, y'all, I'm gonna mute for a few minutes and fill up my water bottle. We'll call it starting at 8:10. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and start. Project 2 is around line movement and rhythm. So I want y'all to think that going into this next video, and I've shown you this a clip of this movie before. I'm going to show you another clip, so enjoy. Huh, it's not showing the video. Oh, I see why. Okay. I was not showing the video properly. Let me try that again. Okay. And here we go. You need sound. Oh, you have sound. Can y'all hear this? Okay, cool. Sorry for all the pauses. Thank you. wanted to pause. Look at him. I made myself a middle note, y'all, online whenever this part of the video happened. Just look at how goofy this guy looks. Have you presented empathy yet? Yeah, anything. Go for it. That's enough. Okay. All right. So y'all, What do y'all think of that movie? This is the second time I've showed y'all a clip from Koyaanisqatsi. So what are your impressions of it?
More fast-paced creations because he does a lot of time lapse.
Yeah, yeah. The composer for that movie, his name is Philip Glass, and he's in a lot. He's done music for a lot of stuff, and he is what his music is known for. That no 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 no. And I thought that was one good aspect of how rhythm and line and movement kind of play into this movie. I forget who made and directed the movie, but the same person who directed Apocalypse Now, Francis Coppola, produced this movie. And if y'all haven't seen Apocalypse Now, it's like one of the greatest movies ever made. It's like very high acclaim. I haven't seen it all the way through, but that's just the reputation that movie gets. So online folks and in class folks, what are some elements of line and rhythm and movement you're pulling out of that video? Anyone?
I don't know if this relates to movement, but most of the stuff is just everybody going forward.
Yeah.
Like nobody's ever going back or
Unless it's like reversed. She pointed out that everyone in the movie is all going one direction forward. I mean, I think there are parts of the film that are in reverse, but they are, you know, that's edited in post. So very good. What else? Good elements of line, movement, and rhythm. Online folks. Are you there? Online folks. I'm gonna wait for one of you to answer. Online folks. Oh, it's okay, Francis. I showed you another video clip from a movie I posted that I showed earlier in the semester. So we'll move on. I won't make y'all answer if you don't feel like talking. That's okay. I would say that traffic movement of the daily to and fro of everyone's lives. It's just movie is ripe with all of the lessons that we are going to learn in this class. And I am debating just showing the movie one day in class because it's a great movie. I think every artist at least should see it. So, moving on. Alyssa, are you ready to finish your critique? Sure, excellent. Okay. On Google Meets at the bottom right of your screen, well, wait, I'm gonna stop presenting first. Okay, all right, here we go. Google Meets at the bottom right of your screen, there's a screen that says present now. Do you see it? Okay. Have you ever presented on Google Meets before? I'm gonna let you take the floor and present your PowerPoint. Says you can. Oh, okay. That probably means I need to adjust let everyone share their screen. It says that everyone can share their screen. Nonetheless, I have it pulled up here. So, are you comfortable with speaking about your work? All I want you to do is you can read the 75 to 100 word write-up you made over your project as a script, and I just want you to speak about the distinctions of the different symmetries, the three of them, the symmetrical, asymmetrical, and radial, and talk about why you made the shapes you did and just what you want to say about the work and what inspired you to make it. No pressure. But are you okay with doing that?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So let me present the screen. All right, take it away.
Okay, thank you. My radial, I tried to do like a sun piece.
Okay.
One second.
You want me to go forward?
Sure.
Sure.
And then this is my piece. I did the sign because that's my sun sign, and I like astrology. Just thinking about that when I decided to do these, and that also kind of did the sun for the radio. Okay.
Okay.
This is John and this piece, and I thought of this because of the colors we were using, and he does the black. And I wrote that song and him, so I tried to do that.
The Man in Black. Nice. Very, very clever use of the materials we were given.
Thank you.
And these are the things you just read, right?
Shortened, but yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think you did very nice and clever work. The Roman numeral for the symmetrical, it's very simple, but like the Roman numerals all have this weight to them, like how it sits on this bar here and how it's weighted down on this bar here. It seems like something is being held like this. I don't think online can see that. I'll stop sharing the screen. The Roman numerals have like this weight to them, and so that was a very wise choice for symmetrical, simple shape, but like it's symmetrical. You know, something is symmetrical or it isn't, and the natural shape of the sunshine, I could see that in you, that you come from a biology background, and the Johnny Cash that's Johnny Cash, right? I think it was. I think that's Johnny Cash.
I'm sorry, the breaking up.
It's not?
The sound was just breaking up. I just missed the last part.
Oh, I said you're asymmetrical, the sunshine, you're using those natural shapes from your biology background. And then the last one, or that was the radial, the asymmetrical was very clever use of the project guidelines using just black and white paper.
Thank you.
Nice. So moving on, good job. Excellent. So next, my voice cracked, excuse me. Next, I wanted to ask y'all again what you like. I'm going to talk about the sketchbooks, and I want to know what y'all like to do, like as far as art goes, to draw. I know some of you are photographers. I know a couple of you are moving towards graphic design. And I want y'all to tell me what you like to do. Like, whenever you think of art making, what do you gravitate towards? What's your, I guess, your niche, your comfort zone? And the floor is open.
My comfort zone is, I'm more of a, sorry, my voice cracked. I'm more of a person that likes to just, free draw. So, whatever, like I'll just look at the paper, whatever I want to draw, I'll just draw it. So that's that. And then art kind of wise, like art real more.
Pause real quick. Would you come closer and speak into the microphone?
Okay. Is this close to me?
Yeah, and just try to project if you can.
Okay. I'll put my mask away.
For sure.
I normally just like to doodle or draw random things that come to my mind. And I really like dealing with watercolors. I really don't use paint that much. I'm more of a watercolor person. So that's what I know. Okay.
Keep it very intuitive. And watercolor, I know, is a very unforgiving medium. Takes a very delicate hand. If you make a mistake, well, there it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Who else? Photography? Okay. Photography, y'all, you can use photography as your sketchbook or as part of your sketchbook. And Tasia, I write songs too. So that is also, it's a great break from visual stuff. You can get so caught up in making visual work, especially in pursuing an education in art. Last night in our lecture in my class, there was the point made that we are doing art when you're in art school, you're doing art all the time. It doesn't necessarily mean you're making art, but you're learning about art. We're talking about art. You are just so engulfed in the arts that you could need a break from it sometimes. So music is definitely another side that I turn to kind of give that part of my brain a break and then create in a different vein. So what I'm getting at here is that I'm going to show you some examples of my personal sketchbook, things that I draw in my class that I will be taking this semester. And I'm just trying to show y'all that a sketchbook, I want a dozen sketchbook images, but a sketchbook doesn't have to be, so it can seem kind of stringent. I feel like I've asked y'all to give me 12 of your best, you don't have to give me 12 masterpieces, but I want you to give me a dozen at the end of the semester, a dozen realized ideas, and sincere, I guess, musings, because your sketchbook, for all intent and purposes, is your diary. It's your visual diary. And so without further ado, I'll show you all some things that I sketch. I should have made scans of these, but I'm gonna see if I can't just show them. So this is one. Whoa. What is a thesis? And here, if you'd like to see. And we're talking about line movement, and so this is a page full of just stuff. Just scribbles and filling up space. I know it's not the best to see online, but it's there and I did it. And try and pull up some different things because it's full of stuff. There it is. Last Halloween, whenever I was trying to decide what kind of jack-o'-lantern I wanted to do, sketch things like this. I do this stuff in class, outside of class. I found that sketching helps me to pay attention during a lecture, and sketches will just be, notes, legitimate notes will be sprinkled through the drawings, and sometimes I'll remember a point of a lecture by what I drew. I also work in collage, and we're gonna get into a collage project. Oh boy, we are gonna get into a collage project later this semester. I'm excited. But these are just two visual things that I work in envelopes a lot, and collage, and there's collage materials in the room behind me that we'll get into, but this is sketchbook material too. Like, this is part of an envelope. When you hold a whole envelope, it seems like just a mundane sheet of paper, but when you cut a piece of it, just a portion of the envelope, now it's something different. You look at this piece of paper like as a composition almost. There you go. And then imagery, I got this out of National Geographic. I think this is two Navy SEALs guys on a submarine. Or no, it's a flight simulation. But I got this out of National Geographic because it's just a cool photo. It's just like there's a red light beaming on both of these guys as they talk about something militant, and I don't know. The context is, because I cut this out of a magazine, and you wouldn't know what magazine if I didn't tell you. The context of this photo is thrown out the window, and now I can use this image to art. I can use this image to art in my art. And so a part of how I also keep a sketchbook is collecting imagery that catches my eye, that I find appealing, that I might want to use later. Here's some more. Here's some legitimate notes. And then off to the side, here's just some more patternistic line drawings that just occupied my body and time while a lecture was going. And like, I'm not saying these lectures were boring, far from it, but 3 hours, I'm still learning how to lecture for 3 hours. So 3 hours can be a long time. And sometimes the same as like how when you're riding on a bus or riding on a long road trip, the car kind of cradles you to sleep. You get tired, but that long kind of monotonous rhythmic movement. And so when someone who's lecturing has a very steady, monotonous voice, and oh my God, it's easy to get tired. I had in my undergrad, during my photography class, I was the worst student. I would bring a monster with me every class. It didn't matter. I fell asleep. I was that kid, the monster in the back of class, sleeping. I probably snored. I don't know how many times I snored, but nobody told me. I guess they were too polite, but I what I'm getting at is, I guess I'm diverging from the point a little bit. That was just a funny story. But it's easy to get kind of bored with a lecture. And so even if it's something you're really interested in, and if it's the art, it's probably inherently, if you're in an art class, you're at least inherently a little interested in art. And so this lecture is you partly care about it, you know, even if you, at least if you just show up to class. But your sketchbook doesn't have to be, see, here's more things, just stuff. And I want your sketchbook to be a little more developed than this, but I just am showing y'all examples of things that I sketch. So I'm choosing things that are appropriate for class. But I also like writing things and drawing stuff, and just, see, there's the S, remember that? I still draw that. You can flip through it, but content warning, if you see anything that's not school friendly, sorry. Actually, I should just, sorry. Sorry, awkward, sorry. But what I'm getting at is, don't be afraid of your sketchbooks. And when I say a dozen sketches, show me things you want to show the class. Don't, I'm trying to make it fun, or I want you to have fun in this class, but I'm trying to kind of break down that barrier around that sketchbook assignment. Because I know I've dropped it in class, like, oh yeah, there's a sketchbook, a dozen things. And so I'm just showing you my own sketchbook so you guys can get some ideas going on what you like doing. And as far as photography goes in sketchbooks, Francis and Teja, if you wish to do photography, photography's not easier per se, but I would like you to do like 16 images if that's gonna be your sketchbook. And if you have further questions on defining the sketchbook, you also can do a mix of photography and other mediums. You can mix media all you want. If it's a personal project you have going on at home, that's cool too, dude. Fixing stuff around the house, like for me, like handyman stuff. One of my coworkers, Share Music Co, documents the work she does on the house. And part of the concept is that we're all in COVID. And one moment, I'm gonna get this. She documents her interaction with COVID and like reconciling with it, how we are navigating life around COVID. And so even things like that you can document as your sketchbook. If it's something that's forward moving and creative, that can go in the sketchbook. So I hope that I have demonstrated or opened up some ideas as far as the sketchbook goes, because you will turn that in on Google Drive with everything else. Oh, has everyone heard of the Wine Time exhibition? It's open to all TWU students. Okay, cool. Check it out. I'll type it in. The 12th is Friday. I think Friday, maybe Thursday, but I know at least Friday of this week, Blake Weld, do y'all get emails from him? Blake Weld sent out an email, y'all, and it's about the wine kind, and it's open to all TWU students. I'm gonna put stuff in it on Friday. If you have any work you wanna show, it's a curated show. Let me pull up the email. Tell you about it, I can show it to you. There it is. this, y'all. It's easy. There's no fee or anything. You just drop it off, drop your work off at these times downstairs. The Blake Wells sent out an email this week regarding this, and this is the email he sent out. It's entitled "Drop Off Work for the John Weinkind Exhibition." We didn't do it last year because COVID. Everything was canceled. But this is a good, I'm gonna do this. This is a good opportunity to get some experience hanging work, installing work, kind of some interaction with what hanging work in a gallery is like. And the Weinkind exhibition, it's curated by alumni. I've never met Allison, I'm not gonna butcher her last name. I've never met her, or them, but the Weinkind ends up being a snapshot, essentially, of the art that TWU is making, has to offer. It kind of becomes a group show of all of us, me included, because I'm a student here too. And I encourage all of you to apply. I'm not really taking a culture credit this semester, and that's like going to a musical or a symphony or a gallery. I encourage y'all to. You should do that if because I know things are open some places, and I know it's restricted, and I'm not taking a grade because it's COVID. It's just like it's hard. It's hard to put parameters to. I'm not gonna make anyone get out if they don't have to. But I encourage y'all to go and see exhibits. After I go to the museum, I always feel refreshed as an artist after seeing a good, solid exhibition or stumbling into like a famous painting I've seen in books growing up, and just the paintings you see all throughout your art education. Like, I don't know, I saw like Frida Kahlo paintings that like, yeah, I remember growing up seeing that painting, and then boom, there it was. It's always refreshing. So please, if there's any work you want to show, it's two works per student. It's free. Be sure to fill out the form completely and read the instructions. But yeah, look for this email. He sent it to all of you. So moving on, I'm gonna talk about project 2. Okay, so project 2. I changed the due date to a week later. It's now due this year on the 1st. I believe I changed it to due on the 1st by midnight. And that's because I thought it was available, and it wasn't for like a week. Also, grades. I've been slow on grading. Everyone who's participating in this class, I want you to know you're all doing well. And some of you have received grades on discussion. Some of you have received no grades. And not to worry, I am just behind on that. And I will get caught up this weekend. I'm gonna grade everything up through project 1 this weekend. That's part of my dropping my phone. That's part of my homework. I want you to, don't worry. If you haven't received any grades, you're all doing well. Anybody who's fallen behind or just not in the class. Because I actually still need to turn in my, but wanted to let y'all know that. And the due date for project 2 is March the 1st. So project 2. It's on Canvas. There's 9 prompts, and you're gonna use a sketchbook page for each of them. The original assignment called for you to take a piece of Bristol paper and divvy it up into 9 sections, and then label the prompt. I'm actually just gonna go look at it. Let's go look at the assignment. It's easy just to talk and forget I have a visual guide and the information highway at my fingertips. Okay, students will create a graphic representation of 9 sounds. Using visual problem solving, students will use a metaphor, symbolism, abstraction to represent 9 distinct sounds. In each of the 9 problems, carefully consider the character of the sound, its tempo, its volume, its duration, its context. Using the element line, students will use the variety of characteristics of line to represent the assigned sounds. Consider the composition of each square using, oh, that's irrelevant because I'll just go down to the materials of the project. You're gonna use sketchbook paper or any drawing paper. It doesn't have to be out of a sketchbook, but you are going to make 10 images. And these are the prompts down here, the 9 prompts, because you're going to do 9 images. You're gonna make these sound or draw these sounds or these prompts, and then you're gonna choose your best one, and you're gonna make a 10th image that is pursued a little further. You're gonna push that idea further. And doing this project mimics planning for an art project, doing a bunch of sketches and then developing an idea. That's the word I was looking for. Your 10th image is gonna be a developed image further. So running water, a typewriter, a sound or a swarm or a herd of animals, just a large body of animals. A car crash, crowd cheering at a sporting event. They can be booing too. Sirens getting closer and then further away. I'll also accept traffic. A conversation between 2 old friends or 2 familiar, or a conversation between like family members, 2 people that know each other, and kind of the familiar rhythms that are in like the nuances between people who know each other really well. Ice cracking or glass shattering, and then you're gonna find 1 sound on your own that you want to draw. And you can paint, you can draw it, you can use, I'm skeptical about using photography for this project, so I'm gonna say no photography for this. I want y'all to draw it, but you can paint it too. And there's no wrong thing to draw. I want it to be more in the abstract. But I'm not gonna limit you on what to draw or paint or what to illustrate. So I guess I should just edit the assignment. Put it on here for good. Student view. Edit. With digital illustration is fine. No photography. This assignment. Photography will come into play for later projects that you will be able to use your own photography. For this, I think it's just a little too, not easy, but direct. It's a little, I want y'all to work your creative muscles here of breaking down a sound. Because we all have, when you hear like a car crash or an explosion, you all have preconceived ideas of what that is. And so I could say to you the word explosion and just immediately all kinds of things come to your head. You know what that is. And like, so, but like, what is that sound? Like, it's immediate, it's big. And so I want you to make marks that represent the traits of that sound once you break it down. Running water. Adding just a little more specifics to these. A person heard an animal's car crash. Crowd cheering or booing. Traffic. Conversation. Okay. All right. Save it. Anyone have any questions thus far? Anyone online? About anything? About the assignment or anything? Yes, that is correct, Alyssa. I changed it to 9 sketchbook pages. And I'm saying sketchbook as a point of reference, just like something about this big. Drawing paper is fine. And then you're gonna, of those 9, you're gonna choose one of them and develop it further, just like a better version. And you're gonna take pictures of all of them, the same as project 1. Your pictures need to be legible. They need to be discernible. They don't have to be the best picture ever. A good thing to do is, if anyone has a scanner, is to scan it, but they took all the scanners out at the library. So yes, Alyssa, you're doing 9 pages, not 1 page divided into 9. If any part of that on the project 2 says that, I need to go through and edit that out. And you're going to turn it in as a PowerPoint. And I keep PowerPoints. I'm going to give you all a peek behind the curtain on PowerPoints as they relate to the world of academia. This is all the PowerPoint is for me. Even the lessons that I get in class in this room later tonight, if we have lesson, PowerPoints look like this. And the video, yeah. If you want it to have motion and a more active color scheme, go for it. But a lot of my professors just leave it blank, and the art usually, like this video speaks for itself that we watch. The content that I'm giving you will speak for itself. And so in this case, I'm not trying to like sell you anything or make a pitch. In this case, the PowerPoint being just basic, accentuates the art and makes it stand out, because the PowerPoint is not the spotlight of the show here. This is just a vehicle that I'm relaying this information. So your PowerPoint doesn't need to be elaborate. If you want it to be, cool. Go for it. But just so y'all know, it just a basic PowerPoint, Alyssa. So it'll be a 10 slide PowerPoint. And of course, you'll need to label each slide. I'm not gonna make y'all do a write-up, but in class, you will need to describe the sound.
At the bottom of the sounds, it said we can pick one sound of choice.
Mm-hmm.
So anything.
Anything. Keep it school appropriate, but yes, anything. Any further questions? Okay. Sabrina, I know that last week you weren't able to make it, so I want you and everyone to know I'm going to be uploading, as well as finishing up my grading, catching up on that. I'm going to be uploading all the lectures from our prior classes, and so everyone can have all the lecture information and be caught up to speed. None of them are that long. If I don't have, yeah, if I don't have like anything pertinent, I'm not going to waste your time. Like I'm not going to fill a lecture with air, like a Frito-Lay bag. So one more thing. This book, Art and Fear. I am reading this and dissecting. I have not finished reading this book. I've started it, and you know how things go. I got sidetracked and then lost focus. But this book rules, and I'm not assigning it to you, but I am suggesting you read it. It's a short 118-page read. This will answer questions that you didn't even know you had about being an artist. Because let's call a spade a spade. It's ridiculous to be an artist. It's ridiculous to choose the arts and pursue that. Look, I mean, I'm doing it myself. It's a ridiculous thing that I'm doing. But this book, as ridiculous as it is, puts it into perspective of why make art and who you are and what, you know, the fears you face behind making art. It's kind of like, and it's direct without being militant or sounding like a coach or sounding like a, one of those books called those self-help and self-improvement books. This is a self-help book technically, but like, it's more, yeah, on the cover, more an observation of the perils and rewards of art making. And I strongly recommend this book to anyone that's hungry for a new thing to read. And it's engaging too. The language in this book is easy to digest and just talks right to you. And I cannot stress enough this book, how rad it is. And this book is the exclamation point on today's lecture. If anyone does anyone else have any questions? Okay, take that as a no. Email me if you have any questions and check the Canvas. I will be putting a notification up on all the updates and all the things discussed today, or most of them anyway, that are pertinent that you need to know in a announcement. I said discussion a minute ago. Look for a new announcement. No discussion this week. If you don't see a new discussion, then there isn't one. If I know in this semester I said we're gonna have a discussion every week. No, we're not. So that's what that is. And if there's nothing else, email me, and dismissed. You'll have a nice weekend and stay on track for the weekend. Stay out of trouble.